First item on the agenda, we are here to review and
Mr. Chairman, you need to take a voice vote, a roll call vote on every motion because we're in Zoom.
I apologize for that. All right. Roll call, Mr. Wetzel.
Aye.
Mr. Lepish.
Aye.
Mr. Neal.
Aye.
Mr. Rossetti.
Aye.
That needs votes, correct, Mr. Schuster?
Yeah, 4-0, the motion passes, correct?
Now I would like to move on to the first item on our agenda this evening. Review and recommendation to the Board of Trustees regarding the application of Montemayor for approval of a certificate of vacation of plat restriction pertaining to the original plat of subdivision for Hampshire Woods subdivision in the village to remove the following plat restriction. Access to the lots in this subdivision shall be by Flanagan Road only. No direct access to Gas Road will be allowed for purposes of the proposed development of Lot 9, Hampshire Woods subdivision. Mr. Schuster, might you possibly provide any additional background on that?
Yes. So when Hampshire Woods was first subdivided, two things happened. First, there was a sale to where to the Mineral Act people where they built on the corner. That occurred before the subdivision was formalized. There are exceptions to the Plat Act that allow that sale to go through. Mineral Act, as I understand it, has a driveway exit onto Gas Road. After that, however, the developer proposed that for the rest of the subdivision, all traffic exit onto Flanagan Road and then come to Gas Road via Flanagan Road. And as you know, most of that traffic turns left or north and goes to US Highway 20. So there's a restriction that's put on the plat of subdivision. That's a public document of record with the King County Recorder that says there'll be no other access points to Gas Road. Mr. Gazzola is here this evening. He'll tell you about Lot 9. The person that purchased that lot, I don't know, maybe 18 months ago, is now proposing a sale to another party that would develop the land and could utilize a direct access to Gas Road. So to do that, they would have to remove this restriction from the plat of subdivision, amend it, so to speak, and that's why we're here. One of your tasks as a plan commission is to look at those plats, make a recommendation to the Board of Trustees. So with that, I'll let Mr. Gazzola explain what his client hopes to accomplish and what the plan is for Lot 9.
I stay right here. What do I need? You fine right there? Okay. Thanks again. What we've got is Montemayor Construction, and I have been working on a development for Lot 9 with a company by the name of Freight Union Transport. Freight Union, we've developed a concept site plan, and in doing that site plan, we recognize that the flow of the site, we could not just accommodate their use on Flanagan only. And so with developing that site, I put together even a traffic study for EEI to look at. I've been working with EEI for several months just to understand what we might do here and the history of kind of how that note got on the plat. And as a side, I was the developer at the time that did that. And it was done because we did not improve Gas Road going to the south. We didn't want any more access or any trucks to go that way. So there was no specific requirement. It was just a note that got added. We come forward 17 years, and with this use, because of the circulation required within the site, we need this. And we've looked at some other requirements too that would require the same thing. This one is real. This one they want to go forward with. And so we took a very hard look. And what we will do here is this will be a right-in only and a left-out only. on the gas. There will be no truck traffic that would be allowed to go south on Gas Road. We did improve gas fully truck rated to the edge of the site. So we have truck pavement and a full width that goes completely to the south end of that lot 9. I show in your packet kind of that is the exact location. We pushed it as far south as we could so that from a traffic standpoint with the EI, they like the fact it's as far away as it can be. And we limit that access again to a right in and a left out. So what will happen is when trucks and or cars come in, they will use the Flanagan Road access point, definitely. But this is another point that relieves some of that traffic in and out and just allows them then to go back out in the gas and head north out to 20.
Mike, what did you report to EEI would be the number of traffic or truck movements in a day or a week or however you reported that?
Yeah, I reported both weekly and daily, Mark, and it's daily they have, and I work with the company itself on their fleet. And to remember, this is not a parking lot. This is a corporate headquarters, maintenance, kind of a warehouse facility, small. The warehouse is for their parts. So what we determined after looking at their operation, we will have in the neighborhood of 10 vehicles, 10 trucks a day coming in or going out of this site. Let me pull my my report. Fact is, because this is a private over-the-road fleet, their trucks are mainly on the road. The trucks that are here are really only in here for service maintenance and or some to park overnight while they're transporting, other goods. So this is not a paved or parking lot to store 100 trucks. Quite the opposite. This is a new asset class that we're now building. This will be the 6th one we've built. And these are corporate facilities, precast buildings, fully paved lots. This will have about 6,000 feet of office. So they use this to bring their vehicles in and do their maintenance and to park a few of their trucks while their drivers are in town. But the majority of the fleet is on the road 24/7.
So the other thing you're saying is that the size and layout on the lot requires or certainly would be benefited by this exit point directly onto Gas Road?
Yes, that allows the trucks to come in, let's say, mainly off of Flanagan. And I did the study. If we had the 10 trucks or so coming in, you'd have probably 8 coming in on Flanagan and maybe 2 off of Gas. And those 2, by the way, is a little bit of a safety valve because if a trucker were to miss Flanagan, where would he go? So in this case, looking at that, because we're the active party on the corner, it allows those couple of drivers to say, oh, here's my other, and turn right into the site and be able to kind of save going any further. On an exit, it would be just the opposite. We see about 6 trucks exiting out and turning left, going up to 20, and 4 or so going out on the Flanagan. So it's almost the opposite. So again, this is not used 100%, but it certainly relieves and helps the movement of the trucks through the site so that we're not just circling internally on the site itself. We have a 21,000 foot building on a little over 4 acre site here.
And last question, these are all company freight union controlled drivers, correct?
That's correct. This is a private fleet that freight union owns. These trucks are all, I've learned a lot, they're all within about 2 years old. They're fairly new fleet. They've been in business since 2014. So they're not an old company, but they're not a new company.
Right.
And they're doing very well. So this is their relocation, again, for their corporate office, their maintenance centralized maintenance facility and delivery. And the delivery
So-
again, their parts.
Well, my point is the drivers should take the direction of their boss to turn left only. And
Yeah.
when the police department issues the tickets, they can write them directly to Freight Union for violating and coming south to the high school intersection there on Gas Road, right?
And we will, in addition to that, we will do some signage and probably end up posting a sign. I'll work with EEI on posting a sign of no, truck traffic south.
No right turn, right?
Or right turn, yeah, there'll be no truck traffic going south. So we'll have directional signage on that exit. And yes, there will be company discussions so the drivers will know.
All right.
While we're on the discussion of signage, are you going to ask, or have you thought about putting a sign heading northbound before, if there's going to be added trucks, and the high school is right there, so for kids who might want to just speed down there, I don't know what time these trucks are mostly coming in during the day or night, but I've seen those, trucks entering and leaving the road or something to that effect, to just warn oncomers of the potential truck traffic, especially, well, we were all young once. We all know how we used to drive, so is there going to be any kind of signage to indicate to the drivers that, hey, there might be some trucks coming up here?
Drivers or the kids?
The kids.
No, just on the sign. Yeah.
So if I could paraphrase that, Mr. Wetzel, you're saying put a sign on the northbound side of Gas Road that
Yes.
warns that a truck entrance is coming up,
Yes.
something like that.
Sure. Anything that we would look at together, even with a recommendation, that's no issue at all. I mean, nobody wants to have somebody going 100 miles an hour down that road with a semi pulling out. So that's a simple fix.
All right. Very good.
This is Aaron Neal. Just looking at this, I am in favor of the vacation of the original plat to allow for this entrance. It's going to be a private entrance for this business. It appears from the aerial view that I'm looking at now on Google Maps that indeed, when this development was built, that the public improvements of Gas Road do allow for the truck traffic that is going to be utilizing it all the way down to the south end of Unit 9, with the limited access and the possibility of added signs on on Gas Road that says, truck entrance ahead, or caution, trucks entering roadway. I think this one makes sense. So I just would like to voice my voice of support for the vacation of the existing plat of easement towards the new request.
This is Larry. Do we know how far south of the proposed curb cut their private residence is? How far away?
It's the farmhouse and it's probably, I'd have to, it's at the other side. I mean, you've got the edge of the lot with the park, then there's some open space, then the home.
Yeah, Larry. Sorry, Larry. This is Tim. I'm looking at a Google map, and it's like he's saying, it's the driveway's on the far side. It's south of where they're proposing. So
On Google Earth, the estimated distance between the cessation of the road improvements that you guys had already put in place and the driveway for that residence is about 200 feet.
Okay.
So the house from that proposed private corporate drive would be
That
about,
house's driveway is about 200 feet.
irrespective of the driveway, I'm talking about the house.
The house itself,
I know you're just eyeballing Google Maps,
I
but
think the house sets back
A
on
little
that
bit.
lot. Yeah.
there's actually a couple
way
structures.
back.
It looks like the house is south of that driveway, so it would be.
okay.
Yeah, we'd be at the southwest corner.
looks like there's a stand of trees that would be kind of blocking the view as well. So.
Do we know, Larry, again, forgive me, do we know if this, the proposed truck traffic using that drive would be anytime, 24/7, or?
You gotta say, because of the semi-truck traffic, yes. However, I asked the question, and their hours are only like 7 in the morning till 6 at night. And that's, again, their maintenance routes. So even though you could say there could be an over-road driver that comes in the evening, he'd park, right? He'd just stay in the truck. Their operational hours are pretty much normal business hours. Again, this is not a truck parking facility, so it is dedicated to the business.
Thank you.
Brian, you got any
Gentlemen, gentlemen, if there's nothing else, I would like to make a motion to approve and make this recommendation to the Board of Trustees regarding the application of Montemayor for approval of certificate of vacation of the plat restriction pertaining to the original plat of subdivision for Hampshire Woods subdivision.
Motion's been made. Any seconds?
I'll second it. I would like to add in there with the also some restriction of having some signage. You know, warning people.
The rest of gas roads in the township, so if anything south of that site, we'd have to get township approval. And that's where the sign would need to go, but all in favor of it, certainly.
Okay. Yeah, I'll second the motion made by Mr. Neal. This is Mr. Wetzel.
Roll call. Mr. Rossetti.
Aye.
Mr. Neal.
Aye.
Mr. Rapish.
Aye.
Mr. Wetzel.
Aye.
Passed 4-0.
Hey, Mark,
Yes,
one comment before I leave. I do have 3 of the 5 signatures on the amendment. All I'll need is the village when we go forward on this. And then I am chasing Cisco, but it's in their system right now for review and signing. So I would
Okay.
hope to get Cisco back in the next week or 2.
all right, if you just let Mr. Hedges know when you have a fully signed document, we'll put it on the next Board of Trustees agenda. Would that be correct, Jay?
Yes. Okay, so I do need the signatures for the board meeting.
I think so. I think that'd be better if we handle it that way.
I'm on it. It's just trying to get them to send it back to me.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Spring start.
And next on our agenda, review and recommend to the zoning board of appeals regarding a petition for zoning text amendment to amend the signage requirements in the interchange overlay district, section 616(4) of municipal code by modifying certain requirements for community graphics and signage in the area of the I-90 and the US 20 interchange in the village. Mr. Schuster, if I could,
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I'll just address this briefly. This is Jay Hedges speaking. This is something that's come up several times at the zoning board and at the village board. They've asked that we not have to require variance every time somebody builds something new up north. We actually have already approved the signs for Thornton's, which is on hold for the time being. But for any other developments, this would mean that for the most part, their signage height particularly would be as part of a special zone permitted without a variance. So it would save some time and also reduce the development costs.
How would it compare? This is Larry. How would it compare to what the existing signs? Meaning we'd allow them to be comparable, or there would be an increasing from what we have?
Comparable, but Josh Gray is the one who actually prepared the agenda supplement on this. So if you don't mind, I'd like to let Josh address this briefly. Josh?
Yes, I'm here. So yes, the Zoning Board of Appeals recognized that they had been granting or recommending variances for essentially the same thing for several developments up in the Interchange Overlay District. So what this amendment would do is bring the allowable dimensions up to what has currently been passed. So roughly what is already up there right now.
if you look at page 33 in your packet, it's highlighted the height, which is what most people are concerned about, would go up to 100 feet, which is would cover all the signs in the town. The area of the signs can sometimes be an issue because some of these people want to put up all kinds of signs all over the property, so that's an issue for some people, but for the most part, everything up there would be, this would not exceed anything that's up there now.
And it would be specific to that area by those truck stops,
Yes,
just so I can't put up mine.
right.
We're basically bolting these modifications onto that zoning.
Yes, it's a special signage zoning area for signage. Special district.
Yeah, this sounds like a pretty simple no-brainer. I mean, because I was just looking at, like you were saying, and that's all they want to do.
Yeah, and it is limited to that area.
Right.
You know, there's a little bit of a bowl shape there
Yeah.
when you look from the tollway. And so they've all had an emphasis on having a high pole identification sign so that people from the tollway can see it adequately. So over time, beginning with the original annexation of that territory and the signs that were already there, others have compared what they would ask for to what was already there. And so these dimensions are, Josh has put together a comparison of what's out there and suggests raising the dimensions so that variances aren't required time after time.
And is this it? Are they going to be asking to change it again in 5 years, or?
Well,
I mean,
Well, the village board and the planning, the zoning board are the ones that asked for this, not any particular business.
okay.
It's just to improve the development process so that they don't have to go through a variance every time we have a new truck stop come in or restaurant. We did have somebody come in just last week who's interested in building a hotel up there, right behind Thornton's. He already owns the property, a hotel and potentially a restaurant. So that area is going to develop.
So my understanding was basically we're updating our code to bring it up to current.
Honestly, this has been on the ZBA agenda for like 3 years, I think. And finally got around to me where I could take some action on it. So but they've been wanting to, I've been hearing from Carl quite a bit on this. Every time he has a meeting, he wants to know why we haven't taken care of this. So.
Anybody else with input?
I'm good.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move that we present our recommendation for approval to the Zoning Board of Appeals regarding petition for the zoning text amendment to amend the signage requirements in the Interchange Overlay District, Section 616.4 of the Municipal Code by modifying certain requirements of the community graphics and signage in the area of I-90 and 20 interchange within the village. This is Larry.
And Bill
This
Rossetti
is-
will second.
All right, Bill.
All right. Roll call, Mr. Wetzel,
Aye.
Mr. Repish,
Aye.
Mr. Neal,
Aye.
Mr. Rossetti.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Chairman, I can also handle the next time if you don't mind.
Please do.
This is also something that was given to me as a request by the village board back in December of 19 when I first came on board. As part of an attempt to streamline our development process and approval process so that we can move not too fast, but quick enough to keep developers happy. The village board has been considered for quite some time and asked me to present this to you for a recommendation to them that we consolidate, combine the planning commission and the zoning board of appeals. So one body would act as both. It will eliminate, reduce the number of meetings required for petitioners for various types of zoning and planning. So this is something that I think would help the village streamline our process. Also, it's been a bit of a challenge to keep both boards fully appointed over the years. So with this The mayor will be reappointing members after the village board approves this amendment.
Questions or comments, discussion?
So we're gonna form another, I'm sorry, are we gonna form another committee, an advisory board?
Basically, my understanding is we're going to dissolve the current plan commission and the zoning board of appeals in migration or transition to a new commission that'll take both of those roles.
So that means a handful of us and a handful of them, so to speak? Are we,
That'll be up to the mayor with the consent of the village board to appoint the members of the new board. But I can tell you that we won't be looking for people to resign. It seems like there are quite a few commissioners that would prefer not to serve any longer. And I think it's more of a challenge to find enough right now to fill the vacancies than it is to there should not be a concern. Will I answer your question?
well, yeah, essentially, I mean, I enjoy being on the planning commission. Does that mean we're all gonna have to be elected back in? So it's a dissolvement of our commission and the zoning, and then we're gonna,
Seven of you will be reappointed to the new body
okay,
by the mayor with the consent of the village board.
gotcha. Is that just because of how redundant the meetings are?
Yeah, I'm sorry, maybe you didn't hear my comments earlier. Yes, it's because, number one, it's been a challenge to have enough people appointed to all the boards. There are several vacancies right now. There's one on this board, a vacancy, and two on the zoning board right now. So at times we've had in the past trouble getting a quorum. So with only one board, it will make that easier, but it will also streamline our development process so that applicants have fewer meetings that they have to go to. And without rushing the process, it will speed up our development process and make it more developer friendly. And it's also a trend in municipalities around the area. A lot of people have gone to a planning and zoning board.
Okay, no, yeah, and I did miss some of that information, so thank you for sharing again. Yeah, no, that sounds like a good idea if we're still missing commissioners. I like it.
Yeah, this is Aaron Neal. I've spoken with our village president as well as a trustee or two about their desire to combine these two commissions and in good governance towards enhancing our development process. Some of the meetings we've sat in, they have to go back to the zoning board of appeals, and it seems kind of redundant for the applicants to have to come back. And again, in line with what other municipalities do, a village the size of Hampshire having two separate bodies has, to me personally, seemed a bit much, and I am in favor of the combining of these two to help streamline our development process and bring businesses into Hampshire.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, well said, Aaron. I agree.
Any further questions or comments? Filibusters?
No, with that, gentlemen, I would like to make a recommendation to the zoning board of appeals regarding a petition for, am I reading the right one? Yeah. Regarding a petition for zoning text amendment requesting an amendment to the village zoning regulations section 6-14-3 and section 6-14-4 and multiple other sections of the village code to create a new advisory board, the Planning and Zoning Commission, and to abolish the existing Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals and combine the powers and duties of each in the new advisory board.
Whew. Good one. This is Tim Wetzel, and I will second the motion.
A roll call, Mr. Rossetti,
Aye.
Mr. Neal,
Aye.
I'm going to be informal and just say Larry.
Aye.
Mr. Wetzel,
Aye.
Mr. Schuster, is this something I could vote on myself just to have it recorded?
If you'd like.
Hey, I will also vote aye. Motion passed 5-0 on that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The old business? No? Public comment? None. I will entertain a motion to call this meeting complete. 7:38 PM.
Motion to adjourn. Somebody make it?
This is
Motion to
Tim Wetzel.
adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn the meeting.
Bill Rossetti
Second,
seconds.
Bill.
You let Bill get that one. All in favor?
No, I need a roll call, please. Sorry.
Well, everything. Every time.
Mr. Rossetti,
Aye.
Mr. Neal,
Aye.
Mr. Rapish,
Aye.
Mr. Wetzel.
Aye.
Hey. Thank you very much.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You gentlemen.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Everybody.
I heard you read off the entire item.